No, this time is about our human show. New Year's Eve is always a big event. We say goodbye to the old year and welcome the new one, this time 2021. A lot of people still do it with fireworks, because it's a way of celebrating loudly and happily. But is it so happy for everyone? Unfortunately not. Our pets react differently to firework displays. Some of them are calm and some are afraid and try to hide. Fortunately, they are in a safe home with people who can hug them, calm down. At the beginning of January, however, significantly more animals fled from the people in panic and finally go to animal shelters. They can travel long distances and then don't know how to go back home. Wild animals, on the other hand, are on their own. For animals, the night between December 31st and January 1st is no different from other nights, and they are unable to prepare for sudden bangs, flashes and shocks. What's happening? They don't know, but it is certainly a danger. Every year, people send thousands of tons of fireworks into the sky, which for most mammals and birds may look like the real beginning of an apocalypse. For many birds, the bang of firecrackers can resemble shots during hunting. Research conducted in the Netherlands, which was made with the use of meteorological radars, normally used for daily monitoring of the weather, cloudiness, precipitation, clearly showed how birds react to fireworks. It turned out that on New Year's Eve around midnight, millions of terrified birds take to the air, fly in panic for up to 45 minutes, and reach heights of even several hundred meters. Large densities of birds were observed over meadows and wetlands, also over Natura 2000 areas. The problem, however, is that apart from some exceptions, most birds cannot see in the dark and they keep a daily lifestyle. This causes that animals collide with buildings, glass, bus stops, power lines, trees and even other birds in their panic flight. Moreover, it is not known whether even a shock wave, a wave of variable pressure caused by an explosion of fireworks, doesn't cause pain to birds, because it can be felt in their air sacs or in their ear by the organ responsible for sensing pressure changes. Besides, birds can of course be hit directly by fireworks, which can lead to their death or serious injury. If the animals raise their youngs or brood their eggs, it could also mean death for them. Many birds that have been resting near, for example, water bodies, suddenly take flight and rise to the height that they do not normally fly. There are hundreds of meters above sea level, which suits more to migratory flights. It is associated with high energy expenditure, but moreover with high stress experienced by the birds. Moreover, such an event may have less obvious consequences. It can weaken the immunity of birds and thus make them not only more vulnerable to diseases, but also make surviving in severe weather conditions more difficult, which can be of great importance, especially in winter. Every year, weather radars record clouds made of thousands of terrified birds who at the beginning of the new year are surprised by the bangs and flashes of our fireworks. After the welcome of 2021, we could find photos and videos showing dead birds lying on the streets of Rome, and those that stunned sat among them unable to fly. This is most likely the effect of panic caused by unexpected shots. However, we do not have to look for examples so far, because on January 1st in Warsaw, even 14 dead birds were found on the sidewalk in only one place, which, according to the preliminary assessment of the veterinary inspector, were stunned in flight and fell from a great height. More birds were lying on the sidewalk elsewhere. It was similar in Poznań and other parts of Poland. This is only an example of a direct threat to the health of birds. However, each such takeoff is an unnecessary energy expenditure, especially during the difficult winter night. It is an interruption of sleeping, foraging or resting. In many places of wintering, it may be associated with escaping to other areas and looking for suitable feeding grounds and roosts, again in the middle of the night. It is also worth paying attention to the fact that fireworks are not neutral to the environment and to the quality of the air we breathe. Data from Germany from 2017 say that 4,000 tons of fine dust were released into the atmosphere with fireworks during one New Year's Eve. This is the amount that corresponds to 15% of the annual emissions of such dust from all cars in Germany. These tiny particles are harmful to our health and adversely affect our respiratory system. In the dust which goes into the atmosphere because of the fireworks are present explosive substances and those responsible for the attractive appearance, such as sulfur, carbon and potassium nitrate, or compounds of copper, barium, strontium. I think that I don't even need to talk about the tons of rubbish left after the New Year's Eve. We cannot forget about other wild animals, because fireworks scare not only birds. Frightened mammals, such as roe deer, may try to flee and thus collide with our fences or moving cars. Deer and chamois in the mountains may suffer various accidents during a panic run. There is a known case of a bear who woke up from hibernation after New Year's Eve and unfortunately did not survive. There are countless examples. For animals with sensitive hearing, a series of shots are like a bomb explosions for us. The hearing of some of them may be temporarily or even permanently damaged. Many animals, both wild and domesticated, even die because of heart attacks this night. This New Year's Eve, when the fireworks started exploding, I heard a very nice comparison. I heard, oh, the war started. But is it a war? Only one side is armed, and only that side takes action that harms others. Moreover, usually innocent civilians are killed. More than war, it could define terrorism. I don't want to use big words here, because I know that most people do it unwillingly and it's all about joy, fun and celebrating the new year. But do we really need to do it this way? Let's think about that. Let's take care of our domestic and wild animals. When we choose this form of celebration, we often choose the death and suffering of others.